guys, I'm back and I'm gonna show you guys how I curl my hair. I get asked that a lot, like, just how do I go about getting kind of the waves that I have. So the main thing, this is the curling iron I use. It's the Ion, it's called. I got it at Sally Beauty Supply. I just went in there and kind of asked the girl about like which one would be the best. The issue I have with my hair is that it's very, very straight and it does not hold curl like normal hair. So I was just finding that like the regular curling irons just don't work for me. I need ones that get really hot. And this one, it actually, I don't know, it goes 300, 350, 400, 450. So I actually only have to use the 400, which is pretty amazing because most other curling irons I have to use it on like the hottest setting. And this works really well for me. So yeah, I think it's like titanium. Again, I don't know. And this, I believe, is the 1 1/4 inch barrel. I always get confused. I don't know. I go back and forth between the 1 1/2 inch and the 1 1/4. So there is a chance that this is the 1 1/2. I don't know. For whatever reason, I can never remember which one it is. And then I go and buy one and I buy the wrong thing and I have to return it. Like, it's this big mess. But the nice thing about buying it from a place like Sally's is that they have really good return policy. So I'm pretty sure with this one I got the wrong size and I had to go back and get the other one, which is why I can't remember which one it is. But anyways, so I thought I would just kind of walk you guys through what I do. It's really simple. Like, it's nothing new, but it's what I've been doing for years. So I don't know, maybe you'll learn a little bit something from it. I hope so. So I'll kind of just walk you guys through it. So this might be a kind of long video. But I figured, like, while I'm curling the middle section, I'll kind of answer some other questions that I've been asked about my hair. Kind of kill two birds with one stone. So I kind of take up this, like with me, my hair, the weight of my hair is on the top of my head. So this bottom section, I usually take a pretty big section because it's kind of the thinner part of my hair. But I think the more you kind of curl your hair, the more you'll know like how big of a section you should do to make sure that you get the curl to stay. This section always ends up falling flat for me and going straight, which is fine. I mean, it's at the bottom anyways. I just kind of like to have it have a little bit of something to it and not just like stick straight. So yeah, I take kind of like this first section, and I don't necessarily focus on like how big of a section I'm grabbing. It's more about like the thickness of this part, because this is the part that's going to be curled. So I take it in the middle and I start to wrap it kind of slowly away from my face. And then I kind of hold it there. I try to hold it for about 10 seconds. But I mean, kind of varies and it depends on how much in a hurry I'm in. So this is kind of how it comes out, which is pretty good. I do find that I get some creases in here, but it also, they fall out. Like, the creases kind of deal with themselves after a while, because I know people are really big into the wands. I've tried them and I don't know if I'm just not coordinated enough to do them, or like, it's probably just because I've been doing this for so long with this, this is so easy and fast. If I were to switch it up and do the wand, it just would take me, there's just a learning curve to it, and I guess I'm not really willing to do that. So I just keep going around. Again, I kind of start in the middle, and then you want your hair, you don't want to wrap it on top of itself, if that makes sense, because whatever's that second layer is not going to really get curl to it. So you want to make sure the section isn't too big or too thick to where the hair isn't kind of like laying on the surface, if that makes sense. And then and then I I actually leave them in their curls for as long as possible, because that will help kind of set them. So I go to about halfway back in my head. So that's about halfway. And then I'll start on the other side. So, and I kind of just like leave it here. How do you guys like my bathrobe? Yeah. So then I just start again on the other side. Again, you want to not only make sure that like the hair is all kind of like touching the surface, but you want to keep it up and down as much as possible, because you want those curls to be, see, like that one was like a little bit wonky, so sometimes I'll go back through, and if you've done it once, you don't really have to get all the way to the end, but you want to keep it vertical as much as possible, because that will help with it being uniformed at the end. Because what you'll notice is that then my hair ends up looking like it's all been curled together, kind of like a cascade. And so you kind of achieve that by making sure that all of the curls kind of line up. Yeah, I kind of spend a little bit more time on this bottom section because, again, it's the section for me that just does not hold curl. So the longer I kind of hold it in the curling iron, the better it will be. And then when I go to pull it out, you want to pull it down, and I kind of just take my thumb and kind of tap, 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 like, to get it loose, because you don't want to pull on the curl and kind of like lose what you just did. And if it does that, like sometimes I'll do that and it will kind of go, make sure you do it again. It has to be tight on there in order to really curl it. So I'll kind of tap it to kind of, and keep twisting it to get the end in there. Some people leave their ends out. It doesn't look right on my hair, I think, because my hair is so straight. So I curl mine all the way in. So that's the bottom layer. And I just kind of put that back. And again, I don't touch it. Then I take out, oh, and I didn't really go over that, but you just need like some kind of claw clip that's big enough to hold, you know, all of your hair. So then I kind of take another layer. And again, this is all kind of, you know, just by how thick your hair is. You might have to take more layers or less, or you'd have less layers. If you don't need, you know, you just want to make sure you get the maximum amount of curl out of each kind of layer. So you want to make sure it's not too thick of a layer. And I kind of try to keep it even. Then this is what I do to the top of my hair to kind of get it. So I kind of take it in my finger and I twist it like that and clip it down. Because I hate when these pieces are all loose and get kind of like tangly. I don't know. That makes sense. Okay. So I'll just go through and finish this. It's not really any different for any of these layers. And I thought I would talk a little bit about just what I do to my hair. I get asked a lot, like what products I use, or, you know, different things. And so I'll start out by saying that I've said this before, and I'm a big advocate for this, but I really only wash my hair like once or twice a week. And I know people go like, ew, like get kind of grossed out by that. But the thing is that the more you do that to your hair, you will train it and it actually not only is much better for your hair, but your hair will get used to it, and it's not as oily or greasy. And the best thing is that your hair, the condition of your hair is just so much better. So I kind of started doing this in college. I met these people who did not wash their hair at all. Like, they worked like camps in Colorado, and so they were just huge advocates to not wash their hair at all. And their thing was, as long as you're out in enough sunshine, like the natural oils of your hair, and you like wet it, obviously, that you really, your hair is meant to not be washed with chemicals or with, you know, shampoos. So I was like, what? That's crazy. But living in Chicago, we of course don't have enough sun to achieve that. So I kind of just started playing around with the idea of like, well, I could at least start washing my hair less. Like, it's just so much work. Not only that, you're just like stripping it of its natural oils, putting on whatever, and like shampoo, conditioner. So sure enough, like it took a couple months, but my hair adjusted, and ever since I've only ever really had to wash my hair. Like, so I'll wash it, and then I wear it down, and then I'll wear it down the second day, and sometimes into the third day. I use cornstarch as my dry shampoo. It's the best I've found. Like, it doesn't have a smell, and it works really great. Then I'll usually wear it up in a ponytail, or top knot for like a day or two. So that's kind of the routine I've gotten into. And my hair, like every time I get my hair done, I'm always complimented on like, just, I have nice, you know, like healthy hair, which is pretty crazy because I wear it up all the time and I curl it, but because I'm not stripping it every day and then like putting a curling iron on it or a hairdryer, it actually makes a pretty big difference. And so that is my tip for you guys. Now, I know I talked about trying the No Poo, which is, or I don't know, it's a stupid name, but it's the no shampoo, where people use baking soda and vinegar instead of using shampoo and conditioner. And I tried that for a month, and it just really dried out my hair to a point where I thought it like maybe even did damage. And I think what I realized about that is that that was a little bit too extreme for my hair, because I had already somewhat trained my hair to go so many days in between washings, and I was already using kind of my own natural oils to condition my hair. Doing that just kind of took it a little bit too far and really dried out my hair. So I just ended up going back to what I normally do, like just washing it once a week. I think that that's like good enough for me, good enough for my hair. I would like to kind of find some products that maybe are less harsh. I honestly just use like herbal essence, like whatever's on sale. I like to use in the winter like a conditioning one, like a heavier conditioner. Just living here in Utah, it can dry out my hair. So again, I took like another layer, and then I kind of this is my part, and I kind of like leave that section for last. So anyways, I just use like inexpensive shampoo and conditioner, but again, I think it's because I'm relying on my own kind of natural oils to kind of condition my hair. A lot of, also what I've started doing to kind of somewhat protect my hair is that I'll take a shower at night, or just first thing in the morning, and I let my hair air dry as much as possible. So if I do it at night, it's usually like a couple hours before I go to bed, and then, you know, it's fairly dry, and then in the morning I'll kind of just wet the top and maybe just do a hairdryer real quickly to get it to kind of like lay like in my part, and like because I have some kind of crazy cowlicks up front. Or if it's, you know, in the morning, I'll like this morning, I took a shower first thing, and then I kind of, you know, got ready, or got Jack ready for school, sent him off, made it, took care of some email, like I just did the things that I needed to do with my wet hair without running a brush through it or anything. Like, let it just kind of air dry as much as possible without touching it. And then I used the hairdryer just at the end to kind of get it, again, to lay where I want it to lay. And I think that's helped a lot, just not overdoing it. And now, I know a lot of you work or like have to be places in the morning, but that's where I would suggest doing it at night, like showering or washing your hair at night and letting it dry through the night. But again, I have really straight hair, so I don't wake up like with it too wonky. So, I guess that might not work for everyone. But if you're going to curl it like this, I find it doesn't really matter. As long as my part is kind of intact, it doesn't really matter what the rest of it looks like. In fact, if it is kind of like a weird wavy or whatever, it actually works to my benefit because it gives me more volume in my curls. Yeah, so again, I just keep kind of going around. Just kind of do this half, and then you go over and do that half, and it's all away from your face. And then I'll kind of like check back through here, these layers, to see if I missed anything. Sometimes I don't mind too much if I kind of grab into the layer that's already been curled, because it kind of gives, because my hair is layered, and so it kind of then helps the curls kind of form together, so it doesn't look like these different layers of curls, if that makes sense. Yeah, I don't really use a mirror in the back. I just kind of trust that it all is working out back there. And I mean, for the most part, if you kind of go like this, you can see if there's any pieces that are not kind of, behaving like the rest. Okay, so now we've come to the top. So this part I feel like is the most important, is because it's, it's going to be the part that you see in the front. So I start in the back, and I do it away. So I do it, and I try to do it kind of like up, to kind of give it volume. Again, kind of like barely opening that and sliding it to where I want it, and then holding it. And then letting it out like that. Then I take the next section. So I kind of like go like 1, 2, 3, 4, if that makes sense. I don't know, I feel like I'm not being as articulate in this video. It's just one of those things I haven't really thought through much, because it's just something I do and something that's worked for me. I think the nice thing, I always curl my hair after I wash it, because I feel like it makes my hair last longer as far as not washing it. Because the second day, I usually just brush it out and it's a little bit straighter, and it's, but it's pretty. It's not as curly. And sometimes I go back through and curl it if I want it to be really curly. But I don't really use anything on it like hairspray, I'll use hairspray at the end, but I don't really like to kind of sear hairspray into my hair. I don't know, it just doesn't seem like, I guess if I really needed the curl to stay, I would do that. But it kind of scares me a little bit. And again, I used to do that when I had curling irons that didn't curl my hair very well. But since kind of trying the nicer curling irons, the ones that get a little bit hotter, I found I haven't had to do that, and it's kind of nice. So yeah, so this front section I just kind of took and went back kind of away from my face. So that's pretty much it. So again, I kind of like look through and make sure there aren't any pieces. And then I just take my fingers and I just pull my fingers through it. And I kind of take my fingers and kind of go like this. And then it kind of makes it form kind of into one. And a lot of times this top layer, and maybe it's just because I didn't wait like I did with the rest of my hair, but sometimes this top layer I'll kind of want to go through and get a little bit more curl up higher. Like it will look kind of like just the ends got curled. And so I'll kind of go through and not really pull the ends through, but just kind of do that top and kind of hold it. And that is it. So again, a lot of this has to do with the cut of my hair. Like I like kind of the longer layers in my hair because that's what helps it. If my hair was all one length, then it would not look like this. So my shortest layer right now, which is actually kind of long for me, is here. So this section is all layered. I usually like to have a little bit more, but lately I've been kind of liking this. And since I grew my bangs out, it kind of works. And then, yeah, like if this section is kind of curled right, it almost gives the illusion of bangs, but then you don't need to. And then if you want it to be a little less curly, pull a brush through it, and it will kind of like form. I don't want to do that because I want it to be mine to be curly today. But yeah, you can kind of brush it through, and it will all kind of come together, kind of like in a more vintage looking style. And then I just usually do hairspray just at the top for kind of my flyaways. And that's it. So thanks for sitting through that. It's kind of long, but I wanted to just make sure you guys saw like really how simple it is. So if you try it out and it works well for you guys, I'd love to hear about it. I also did a tutorial a while back on how to do like the 5-minute curl, which is when you put your ponytail up the top of your head and curl all the pieces, and then you let it down, and it's not this curly, but it's wavy enough, and it only takes like 5 minutes. So I have used that on days that I just am in a really big hurry. But for the most part, I try to schedule out my, like, when am I going to wash my hair and when I'm going to have enough time to do it, because then it can really last me, you know, throughout my week. And it ends up saving me time, like as a mom, to just not have to do my hair every day. You know, I have my top knot, which takes me a couple minutes, and my ponytail that takes me a couple minutes, and then, you know, so really just one day a week of really concentrating on my hair is like pretty good. You know, it's manageable, I think, for most people. So anyways, yeah, let me know if you guys have any other suggestions as far as hair. I mean, those are pretty much all I do with my hair, so I'd be surprised if there was more, but let me know if you have any more questions, or if you have any suggestions as far as like a good shampoo and conditioners. I'm always kind of looking for maybe a slightly better product that's a little safer, and maybe not, you know, I wouldn't mind spending a little bit more money on it, seeing as I only use it once a week, and I do really want to keep like good condition on my hair. So yeah, anyways, I will see you guys soon, hopefully, and I love to hear from you. Thank you so much for all your comments, and I do read all of them, and yeah, you guys are the best. So thanks so much.